Evening, Richard. Evening, June. Okay. Evening, Dawn. A couple of minutes for June and Stephen. All right, okay, June. I'll not wait too long. I don't have something got a match today. Oh, I see nothing. So Stephen may be watching the match. Stephen and Jeanette could well be watching the match. Could just be the four of us tonight then. So we'll go through the subjects anyway. Question 1 is general knowledge. 2 is geography. 3 is pop music. 4 is sport. 5 is food and drink. 6 is TV. 7 is history. 8 is films. Excuse me. 9 is rhymes. And 10 is famous people. All right. Okay, mate. As long as you're doing it, you're coming through. Don't get overexcited when Sunderland score their 6th goal. Right. Um, okay, we'll make a start. Question 1 on general knowledge. Which actor played Victor Meldrew in the TV series One Foot in the Grave? I think I know that one, Stephen. I definitely think I know that one. Which actor played Victor Meldrew in the TV series One Foot in the Grave? Question 2. What are female elephants called? What name is given to a female elephant? Question 3. Which legendary surrealist artist is famous for painting melting clocks? Amongst many other things, but which legendary surrealist artist is famous for painting melting clocks? Okay, do you know about that? Question 4. Who directed the 1958 film Vertigo? Who directed the 1958 film Vertigo? And question 5. What is the name of a salad made from apples, walnuts, celery, and mayonnaise? Beg your pardon. What's the name of a salad made from apples, walnuts, celery, and mayonnaise? Question 2 is on geography. Are the following islands in the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean? There are two answers, just Atlantic or Pacific. The islands are the Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands. The Solomon Islands. Number 2, the Solomon Islands. Number 3, the West Indies. West Indies. Are these in the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean? Question 4, the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands. And 5, the Cape Verde Islands, or Cabo Verde as it's now called. The Cape Verde Islands. When you've got all the answers, just send us a ready through. When everybody's ready, we'll go through them. June's ready. Dawn's ready. Stephen's ready. Richard's ready. Just waiting on Eddie. There you go. Okay, the general knowledge questions. Which actor played Victor Meldrew in One Foot in the Grave? That was Richard Wilson. Female elephants are called cows. The bull elephant and the cow elephant. The surrealist artist famous for painting melting clocks, the wonderful Salvador Dali. Who directed the 1958 film Vertigo? That was Alfred Hitchcock. And the name of a salad made from apples, walnuts, celery, and mayonnaise is a Waldorf salad. Geography, the islands are in the Atlantic or Pacific. The Faroe Islands are Atlantic. Solomon Islands are Pacific. West Indies, Atlantic, Galapagos, Pacific, and Cape Verde, Atlantic. Atlantic, Pacific, Atlantic, Pacific, Atlantic. Nice and easy, that like. When you got your scores, send them through. June 10, Eddie 10. It's a good start. Dawn 9, Richard 8, and Stephen 10. Cracking scores there. We're going to round 3 on pop, the 1970s. Pop music of the 1970s. And all the answers contain a girl's name. Okay, all the answers contain a girl's name. Question 1. Which girl's name was the title of a 1970 hit for the Kinks? Which girl's name was the title of a 1970 hit for the Kinks? Question 2. What was Cockney Rebels' first UK top 10 hit in 1974? Don't forget it contains a girl's name. What was Cockney Rebels' first UK top 10 hit in 1974? Excuse me. Question 3. Which girl gave 10cc their first UK top 10 hit in 1972? Which girl gave 10cc their first UK top 10 hit in 1972? Question 4. According to the title of the Ramones hit of 1977, who was a punk rocker? According to the title of the Ramones hit of 1977, who was a punk rocker? And question 5. Which nursery rhyme did Wings take to the 1972 charts? Which nursery rhyme did Wings take to the 1972 charts? Well, they all contain a girl's name. Question 4, just for you, June. This is sport. They're all about runners up and they're all British. Runners up and they're all British. Well, one. In the 1997 Sports Personality of the Year, which tennis player was runner-up to tennis star Greg Rosetsky? 1997 Sports Personality of the Year, which tennis player was the runner-up to tennis star Greg Rosetsky? Question 2. When Leicester City famously won the Premier League in the 2015-16 season, which team finished second? When Leicester City won the Premier League, it was the 2015-16 season, which team were runners-up? Question 3. Who finished runner-up to Eric Bristow in the World Professional Darts Championship in 1980? Was it John Lowe or Bobby George? Who finished runner-up to Eric Bristow in the World Professional Darts Championship in 1980? John Lowe or Bobby George? Question 4. Which British female swimmer won a silver medal in the 400 meters individual medley at the 1980 Moscow Olympics? Which British female swimmer won a silver medal in the 400 meters individual medley at the 1980 Moscow Olympics? And number 5. In the 2012 Tour de France, who finished runner-up to winner Bradley Wiggins? The 2012 Tour de France, who finished runner-up to winner Bradley Wiggins? So we're all runners-up, and we're all British. When you're ready, senders are ready. Stephen's ready. Richard's ready. June's ready. You too much notice of football, Stephen. Dawn's ready. Yep. And Eddie's ready. Excuse me. Okay, pop music. Which girl's name was the title of a 1970 hit for the Kinks? That was Lola. L-O-L-A, Lola. Cockney Rebels' first UK top 10 hit in 1974 was Judy Teen. Judy Teen, the queen of the scene. Which girl gave 10cc their first UK top 10 hit in 1972? That was Donna. According to the title of the Ramones hit of 1977, who was a punk rocker? Sheena. Sheena is a punk rocker. And which nursery rhyme did Wings take to the 1972 charts? That was Mary Had a Little Lamb. A low point in Paul McCartney's career, I think. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Sport, British runners-up. In the 1997 Sports Personality of the Year, the tennis player that was runner-up to Greg Rosetsky was Tim Henman. Leicester City won the Premier League. Arsenal finished second. Who finished runner-up to Eric Bristow in the 1980 World Championships? That was Bobby George. Female swimmer finished second in the 400 meters individual medley in 1980 was Sharon Davies. And in the 2012 Tour de France, the runner-up to Bradley Wiggins was Chris Froome. Chris Froome. Excuse me. Eddie 6 is 16. Richard 5 is 13. Dawn 8 is 17. Stephen 8 is 18. And June, just a 4. That's sport round every time. June gives you 14. Got Richard on 13, June on 14, Eddie on 16, Dawn on 17, and Stephen and Jeanette on 18. Excuse me. Okay, question 5 is on food and drink. Question 1. What type of fish is smoked to make a kipper? What type of fish is smoked to make a kipper? Question 2. From which animal does the meat of venison come? From which animal does the meat of venison come? Question 3. What name is given to the green horseradish sauce widely used in Japanese cooking? What name is given to the green, very hot horseradish sauce widely used in Japanese cooking? Question 4. What is the principal ingredient of guacamole? What is the principal ingredient of guacamole? And question 5. What was the first frozen vegetable to be available in the UK? Was it peas, broccoli, or asparagus? What was the first frozen vegetable to be available in the UK? Peas, broccoli, or asparagus? Question 6 is TV. TV adverts. TV adverts. Just identify the companies from the famous advertising slogans. So these go back a few years, but identify the companies from the famous advertising slogans. Number 1, just do it. Just do it. Excuse me. Question 2. I liked it so much, I bought the company. I liked it so much, I bought the company. Number 3, reassuringly expensive. Reassuringly expensive. Question 4, because she's worth it. Because she's worth it. And number 5, the appliance of science. The appliance of science. Just do it. I like it so much I bought the company. Reassuringly expensive. Because she's worth it. And the appliance of science. Excuse me. When you're ready, just send your readies through. June's ready. Stephen ready. Richard ready. Dawn ready. And Eddie's ready. Right, the food and drink. Kippa is made from smoked herring. Venison comes from the deer. Green horseradish sauce, widely used in Japanese cooking, is wasabi. Principal ingredient of guacamole is avocado. And the first frozen vegetable to be available in the UK was actually asparagus. It's quite a surprise, I thought. TV, the TV ads identifying the companies by their slogans. Well, one was "Just Do It." That's Nike or Nike sports gear. I liked it so much I bought the company. That was Remington. Remington razors at the time. 3, reassuringly expensive. That's Stella Artois. And all beer is going to be reassuringly expensive shortly. The Buffs have just put their beer up 30 pence a pint. 4, because she's worth it. That's L'Oreal. And the appliance of science was Zanussi. Zanussi white goods. Fridges and freezers and cookers and things like that. You got your scores? Send them through. Richard, 6 is 19. Eddie, 9, 25. Dawn, 9, 26. Stephen, 6, 24. June, 7 is 21. So we've got Dawn in the lead now on 26. Eddie, 25. Stephen, 24. June, 21. And Richard, 19. Question 7 is on history. Who was number 1, US president on VA Day? Who was American president on Victory in Europe Day? Question 2. Who was US president when man first walked on the moon? Who was the American president when man first walked on the moon? Question 3. Who was US president at the start of the American Civil War? Who was US president at the start of the American Civil War? Question 4. Who was British Prime Minister at the time of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation? Who was British Prime Minister at the time of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation? And 5. Who was president of South Africa when Nelson Mandela was released from prison? Who was president of South Africa when Nelson Mandela was released from prison? Excuse me. Question 8 is on films. First part. In which film did Robert Redford say, "Suppose I give you $1,000,000 for a night with your wife"? Which film did Robert Redford say, "Suppose I give you $1,000,000 for a night with your wife"? These are just random film questions. There's no particular theme on them. Question 2. The Color of Money was a sequel to which film? The Color of Money was a sequel to which original film? Question 3. Who won a Best Song Oscar for the theme from the Oscar-winning film Philadelphia? Who won a Best Song Oscar for the theme from the Oscar-winning film Philadelphia? And 4. Which actor played Private Ryan in the film Saving Private Ryan? Which actor played Private Ryan in the film Saving Private Ryan? And question 5. Which British actor has played on film the husband of Shirley Valentine and the captain of the Titanic? Which British actor has played on film the husband of Shirley Valentine and the captain of the Titanic? Richard's ready. Stephen's ready. June's ready. Dawn's ready. And Eddie's ready. Okay, question 7 on history. Who was American president on VE Day? That was Harry S. Truman. American president when man first walked on the moon was Tricky Dicky, Richard Nixon. American president to start the American Civil War, Abraham Lincoln. British Prime Minister at the time of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II was Winston Churchill. And President of South Africa when Nelson Mandela was released from prison was F.W. de Klerk. F.W. de Klerk. Films. In which film did Robert Redford say, "Suppose I give you $1 million for a night with your wife"? That was Indecent Proposal. The Colour of Money was the sequel to The Hustler. Who won the Best Song Oscar for the theme from Philadelphia? That was Bruce Springsteen. The actor that played Private Ryan in Saving Private Ryan was Matt Damon. The British actor who played the husband of Shirley Valentine and the captain of the Titanic was Bernard Hill. Bernard Hill. First came to prominence probably on Boys from the Black Stuff with "Gives a Job." I can do that. Gives a job. Bernard Hill. Eddie 7 gives you 32. Dawn 7 gives you 33. Richard 7 gives you 26. June 8 gives you 29. Stephen 8 gives you 32. So we have Dawn just in the lead on 33. Stephen and Eddie close behind on 32, then June on 29, and Richard on 26. We're in the last 2 rounds. Question 9 is rhymes. 2 questions per part, and the answers rhyme. You need 2 answers, but they do rhyme. Question 1. Fasteners used to hang up clothes for drying and cuisse de Grenoir in a French restaurant. Fasteners used to hang up clothes for drying. Cuisse de Grenoir in a French restaurant. That's spelled C-U-I-S-S. De Grenoir is G-R-E-N-O-U-I-L-L-E-S. That helps you or not, I don't know. That's how I pronounce it anyway. Question 2. A flatbread found in Indian cuisine and an elderly superhero played by Gudrun Ewer in a 70s kids TV series. Flatbread found in Indian cuisine and an elderly superhero played by Gudrun Ewer in a 70s kids TV series. Those answers rhyme. Question 3. Person from Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, and what hummus is made from? Person from Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, and what hummus is made from? Excuse me. So I'm just checking one of my questions here because it looked wrong and it is. Well, missed that one and come back to it. So we'll go on to question 4. A ghostly double of a living person, and what a screwdriver becomes if you add Galliano. A ghostly double of a living person, and what a screwdriver becomes if you add Galliano. And question 5. 1993 film starred Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker as witches, and a flower from which we obtain saffron. 1993 film starred Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker as witches, the flower from which we obtain saffron. Top number 3, kid. Person from Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, and what hummus is made from? And Son enough scored. Get in, Stephen. Only another 5 to go, mate. Eh? Question 10. Famous people. These are people who've been married 3 or more times. People who've been married 3 or more times. I'll give you their spouses. You've got to name the people. Okay, number 1. Married actress Mimi Rogers, 1987 to 1990. Actress Nicole Kidman, 1990 to 2001. And actress Katie Holmes, 2006 to 2012. Who was that? Married actress Mimi Rogers, 87 to 90. Nicole Kidman, 90 to 2001. Katie Holmes, 2006 to 2012. Number 2, married to actor Johnny Lee Miller, 96 to 99. Actor Billy Bob Thornton, 2000 to 2003. And actor Brad Pitt from 2014 to 2016. Who's she? Married to Johnny Lee Miller, Billy Bob Thornton, and Brad Pitt. Number 3, married assistant director Jim Threppleton, 98 to 2001. Director Sam Mendes, 2003 to 2010. And in 2012, she wed businessman Edward Abel Smith. Jim Threppleton, 98 to 2001. Sam Mendes, 2003 to 2010. And in 2012, she wed businessman Edward Abel Smith. Number 4, this lady was married 4 times to musician Peter Allen, 67 to 74. Excuse me. Director Jack Haley Jr., 1974 to 79. Sculptor Mark Giro, 1979 to 92. And producer David Guest, 2002 to 2007. Married 4 times. Musician Peter Allen, director Jack Haley, sculptor Mark Giro, and producer David Guest. And number 5, this lady was married to waiter Ojani Noah, 1997 to 1998. Dancer Chris Judd, 2001 to 2003. And singer Mark Anthony, 2004 to 2014. Ojana Noah, Chris Judd, and Mark Anthony. When you've got all your answers and you're ready, just send it through. Stephen, ready? Doesn't care now. He's Sunderland have scored. Just putting out down. Richard's ready. June's ready. Dawn's ready. Excuse me. And Eddie's ready. Okay, the rhyming answers. Fastener used to hang up clothes for drying and cuisse de Grenoir in a French restaurant. That's clothes pegs and frog's legs. Flatbread, found in Indian cuisine, and an elderly superhero played by Gudrun Ewer. That's a naan and super grand. Person from Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, and what hummus is made from. It's Vietnamese and chickpeas. Ghostly double of a living person. What a screwdriver becomes if you add a Galliano. That's a doppelganger and a Harvey Wallbanger. And the 1993 film starred Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker as witches. The flower from which we obtain saffron. That's Hocus Pocus and Crocus. And the famous people married 3 or more times. Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman, Katie Holmes, all wives of Tom Cruise. John Lee Miller, Billy Bob Thornton, and Brad Pitt, all husbands of Angelina Jolie. Jim Threppleton, Sam Mendes, and Edward Abel Smith. Kate Winslet. Musician Peter Allen, director Jack Haley, sculptor Mark Giro, and producer David Guest, all husbands of Liza Minnelli. And Ojani Noah, Chris Judd, and Mark Anthony, all husbands of Jennifer Lopez. Excuse me. Have you got your final scores? Send them through. Let's see how it goes. Richard finished with a flourish of 9. Gives you 35. Dawn 6. Gives you 39. Eddie 7. Gives you 39. Stephen 9 gives you 41. And June 8 gives you 37. So the cracking last round. Jeanette obviously knows all our celebrity marriages. We've got Stephen, your winner, on 41. Eddie and Dawn in second place on 39. June on 37. And Richard with a creditable 35 after a bad start. Yeah, I thought you would, Stephen. Yeah, well. Hope you win tonight, mate. Make it nice and cheerful for Friday. Hopefully see you Friday. Everybody else, hope you enjoyed the quiz. See you, Dawn. See you, June. See you, Richard. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Good night.